Not with endless vocabulary lists. Not with complicated textbook exercises. Today, I'm going to show you how real fluent English actually works. You're going to learn how confident English speakers think, how they react naturally, how they build automatic speaking habits, how they stop translating, and how they create fluency step by step in real life. This is not just another English lesson. This is a complete fluency training session. So relax, get comfortable, open your mind, and let's build your English together. Welcome to Daily English. If you're serious about improving your English naturally and confidently, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, and leave a comment telling me where you're watching from and what your biggest English challenge is. I read your comments every day, and they help me create lessons that truly support your journey. Now, let's begin. The first thing I want you to understand is this. Fluency is not perfection. This single idea changes everything. Many English learners secretly believe they must speak perfectly before speaking confidently. They think, when my grammar becomes perfect, then I'll speak. When my pronunciation becomes perfect, then I'll feel confident. When I know enough vocabulary, then I'll finally sound fluent. But that day never comes, because confidence does not come before speaking. Confidence comes from speaking. Think about children learning their first language. They make mistakes constantly. Terrible grammar, wrong pronunciation, incomplete sentences. But they continue speaking anyway. Why? Because communication matters more than perfection. And this is exactly what many adult English learners forget. Your goal is not to sound like a dictionary. Your goal is to connect with people. Real fluency means your words move naturally. You respond without panic. You communicate your ideas. You understand people. You participate in conversations. You don't need perfect English to do that. I once worked with a student named Daniel from Brazil. He knew thousands of English words. His grammar test scores were excellent. But every time he spoke, he paused every few seconds. Maybe. How can I say? He was translating every thought from Portuguese into English. One day I asked him a simple question. What did you eat for breakfast? And he froze. Not because the question was difficult, but because he was trying to build a perfect answer. After a few minutes, I stopped him and said, Daniel, speak badly, but speak immediately. At first he laughed. Then he tried. My breakfast: eggs, coffee, and bread. Very simple. Not perfect, but natural. Fast. Real. That was the beginning of his fluency breakthrough. Many learners are not suffering from lack of knowledge. They are suffering from fear. Fear of mistakes. Fear of judgment. Fear of embarrassment. Fear of sounding stupid. But here is the truth. Every fluent speaker made thousands of mistakes. Thousands. Your mistakes are not evidence of failure. They are evidence that you are learning. And the faster you accept this, the faster your English improves. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest fluency killers in the world. Translating inside your head. This habit slows down your speaking speed dramatically. Imagine somebody asks you, "How was your weekend?" A fluent speaker immediately answers, "It was great. I visited my cousin, watched a movie, and relaxed." But many learners do this. First, they hear the English sentence. Then they translate it into their native language. Then they create an answer in their native language. Then they translate the answer back into English. Then they check the grammar. Then they finally speak. This process is exhausting. And during real conversations, it creates stress. Because conversations move quickly. People don't wait 10 seconds after every question. So, how do you stop translating? You stop translating by building direct connections between English and meaning, not English and your native language. For example, when you hear the word apple, what happens in your mind? Fluent speakers do not translate. They instantly imagine the fruit, the color, the taste, the shape. The word connects directly to experience. This is exactly how you should learn English vocabulary. Not like this. Apple equals translation. But like this. Apple equals image, taste, memory, feeling, experience. This is why visual learning is powerful. When you learn vocabulary, create mental movies, create emotional connections, create stories. For example, imagine learning the word exhausted. Don't just memorize. Exhausted equals very tired. Instead, imagine yourself after walking for hours in hot weather. Sweat on your face, heavy breathing, your legs hurting. And then you say, I'm exhausted. Now the word becomes alive. This is how memory becomes stronger. Emotion helps memory. Stories help memory. Movement helps memory. This is why students remember movie quotes more easily than textbook definitions. Your brain loves meaning, not isolated information. Now, let's talk about another powerful fluency secret. Input before output. Many learners try to speak too early without enough listening. Imagine trying to play piano without hearing music. Impossible. Language works the same way. Before your mouth becomes fluent, your ears must become familiar with English rhythm. You must hear English constantly, not sometimes, not only during class, not only during homework, every day, while walking, while cooking, while cleaning, while traveling. English must become part of your environment. One student from Turkey told me, I study English 2 hours every Saturday. But fluency cannot grow from occasional contact. Fluency grows from consistency. Even 30 minutes every day is more powerful than 5 hours once a week. Because your brain needs repetition. And not boring repetition. Natural repetition. You should hear common phrases again and again until they become automatic. For example, to be honest, as far as I know, that reminds me, at the end of the day. These chunks are incredibly important. Native speakers do not build sentences word by word. They use patterns, ready-made phrases, language chunks. This is one of the biggest differences between intermediate learners and advanced fluent speakers. Intermediate learners often think one word at a time. Fluent speakers think in groups of words. Instead of learning, decision, learn, make a decision. Instead of learning, advice. Learn, give advice, ask for advice, take advice. This method dramatically increases speaking speed because your brain stops building language from zero every time. Now I want to share an advanced fluency tip that most English channels never discuss. Your speaking ability depends heavily on emotional state. If you feel nervous, embarrassed, or tense, your English becomes weaker. Have you noticed this? Sometimes you speak well alone, but in front of people, your brain suddenly stops working. This happens because anxiety blocks language access. Your brain becomes focused on fear instead of communication. That's why confident practice matters. When practicing English, don't sit like a tired student. Move, walk, use gestures, smile, use energy. Energy changes memory. Athletes understand this. Actors understand this. Great speakers understand this. Your body affects your mind. If you practice English with low energy, your memory becomes weaker. If you practice with strong emotion and attention, your learning becomes deeper. This is why storytelling is so powerful. Stories create emotion. Emotion creates memory. Memory creates fluency. Let me give you an example. Imagine learning the phrase, I couldn't believe my eyes. You could memorize it mechanically. Or you could imagine opening your front door and seeing your favorite celebrity standing outside holding a birthday cake. Suddenly you shout, I couldn't believe my eyes. Now the phrase becomes unforgettable. This is how fluent learners train. Now, let's discuss daily habits. Because fluency is not created by motivation alone. It is created by systems. The most successful English learners are not always the smartest. They are the most consistent. So, let's build a powerful English routine. First, start your morning with English. Even 5 minutes matters. Listen to a short podcast. Repeat phrases aloud. Describe your plans for the day. For example, today I have a meeting at work. I need to buy groceries. I'm going to exercise tonight. Simple daily thinking practice trains your brain to operate in English. Second, create English moments during ordinary activities. When you open your refrigerator, name the food in English. When you drive, describe traffic conditions in English. When you watch a movie, summarize scenes in English. Your life becomes your classroom. Third, practice shadowing. Shadowing is one of the most powerful fluency techniques in the world. You listen to native speakers and repeat immediately. Not after 10 seconds. Immediately. You copy rhythm, emotion, pronunciation, speed, intonation. At first it feels difficult, but over time, your mouth becomes faster. Your pronunciation improves naturally, and your speaking becomes smoother. Many learners study pronunciation incorrectly. They focus only on individual sounds. But fluent pronunciation is more about rhythm than perfection. English is musical. Words connect together. Sounds disappear. Stress changes meaning. For example, what do you want to do? Native speakers often say, what do you want to do? If you only study textbook pronunciation, real conversations will sound confusing. That's why listening to natural English daily is essential. Now, let's talk about confidence during conversations. This is a huge problem for many learners. You understand English, you know grammar, but conversations still feel stressful. Why? Because real conversations are unpredictable. Textbooks are controlled. Real people are not. Real people interrupt, change topics, speak quickly, use slang, laugh suddenly, tell stories, and this can feel overwhelming. So, what should you do? Stop trying to control conversations perfectly. Instead, train flexibility. Learn conversation survival phrases. For example, could you repeat that? I didn't catch the last part. That's interesting. Tell me more. Give me a second to think. What do you mean exactly? These phrases give you breathing space. And here's another important truth. Native speakers do not expect perfection from you. Most people care more about your energy and confidence than your grammar. If you communicate warmly and clearly, people respond positively. Now I want you to imagine something. Imagine yourself 6 months from now. You enter a conversation calmly. You answer naturally. You laugh comfortably. You express your opinions. You understand jokes. You stop panicking. That version of you is possible, but only if you continue. Fluency is built through thousands of small moments, not one magical lesson. And this is where many people quit. They become impatient. They say, I've studied for 3 months. Why am I not fluent? But language learning is like physical training. You do not go to the gym 3 times and suddenly become strong. Improvement happens gradually. And often, progress is invisible before it becomes obvious. One day, you suddenly realize, wait, I understood that conversation. Wait, I answered without translating. Wait, I'm thinking in English. Those moments are powerful, and they come from consistency, not perfection. Now, let's move into one of the most important parts of fluency, thinking in English. This skill changes everything. Most learners wait too long before practicing this. They think, I'll start thinking in English when my English becomes advanced. No. Thinking in English is how you become advanced. Start simple. Very simple. Describe your environment. The weather is nice today. My coffee is too hot. I'm feeling tired. I need to answer some emails. These tiny thoughts train automatic thinking. At first, your sentences will feel slow. That's normal. But gradually, your brain adapts. And here's a powerful trick. Do not translate difficult words. If you don't know a word, explain it using simple English. For example, maybe you forget the word umbrella. Instead of stopping completely, say, the thing people use when it rains. This skill is extremely important. Fluent speakers communicate ideas, not perfect vocabulary. Communication flexibility is more important than vocabulary size. Another advanced fluency technique is emotional speaking practice. Most learners practice English with flat emotion, but real communication contains feeling, excitement, frustration, curiosity, surprise, humor. So when you practice, exaggerate emotion. If you say, I was really excited, Actually sound excited. If you say, I was completely exhausted, sound exhausted. Emotion trains natural rhythm. This is exactly why actors improve pronunciation quickly. They connect language to feeling. Now, let's talk about listening. Because listening is the foundation of fluency. Many learners listen incorrectly. They listen once. They understand 30%. Then they move to another video. This creates shallow learning. Instead, use deep listening. Listen repeatedly. One podcast episode, one interview, one story, again and again. The first time, focus on general meaning. The second time, notice phrases. The third time, copy pronunciation. The fourth time, shadow aloud. Repetition creates familiarity. Familiarity creates speed. And speed creates fluency. Now I want to pause for a moment and speak directly to those of you who feel discouraged. Maybe you've studied English for years. Maybe you feel stuck. Maybe you compare yourself to other learners online. Please stop comparing your Chapter 1 to somebody else's Chapter 20. You do not know their background. You do not know how many hours they practiced. You do not know their opportunities. Focus on your journey. Every small improvement matters. If you understand 5 more sentences today than last month, that is progress. If you speak with slightly more confidence, that is progress. If you hesitate less often, that is progress. Celebrate small wins. Because motivation grows when progress becomes visible. And remember this, the goal is not to impress people. The goal is to build a better life. English creates opportunities. Jobs, travel, friendships, education, business, confidence, freedom. Your English journey matters, and you should be proud of yourself for continuing. If this lesson is helping you, pause for a moment and hit the like button, subscribe to Daily English, and leave a comment using one English sentence about your goals. Writing comments in English is excellent practice, and it helps build confidence little by little. Now, let's continue with one of the biggest mistakes learners make. Studying too much grammar without enough real communication. Grammar is useful, of course, but grammar alone does not create fluency. You can memorize every grammar rule in the world and still struggle to speak naturally. Why? Because speaking is a skill, and skills grow through practice. Think about driving. You can read 100 books about driving, but until you actually sit inside a car and practice, you won't become comfortable. Language works the same way. This is why active English matters. Speak, listen, respond, interact, repeat. Even talking to yourself helps. Some learners feel embarrassed talking alone, but self-speaking is powerful. Describe your thoughts, retell stories, practice conversations. For example, how was your day? Oh, it was busy but productive. What did you do? I worked on a project and then met a friend for dinner. This kind of practice trains spontaneous speaking. And here's another important tip. Record yourself. Most learners avoid this because hearing their voice feels uncomfortable. But recordings reveal important patterns. You notice hesitation. You notice pronunciation problems. You notice repetitive vocabulary. And over time, you hear improvement. That improvement becomes motivation. Now, let's discuss vocabulary growth. Many students ask, how many words do I need? But this is the wrong question. A better question is, how deeply do I know the words I already learned? Because knowing a word is not enough. Can you pronounce it naturally? Can you understand it during fast speech? Can you use it emotionally? Can you recognize it in different contexts? Can you use it automatically? That is real vocabulary mastery. So instead of trying to memorize thousands of random words, focus on high-frequency useful English. Learn language that people actually use. Phrases for work. Phrases for social situations. Phrases for travel. Phrases for expressing feelings. For example, I'm looking forward to it. That makes sense. I totally agree. To be honest, I'm not really into that. These expressions appear constantly in real conversations. Another advanced tip. Learn opposites together. Cheap and expensive. Generous and selfish. Relaxed and stressed. Your brain remembers relationships more easily than isolated information. Also learn vocabulary through themes. Restaurant vocabulary, airport vocabulary, job interview vocabulary, fitness vocabulary. This creates mental organization. Now, let's talk about pronunciation confidence. Many learners become obsessed with sounding exactly like native speakers. But clear communication matters more than accent perfection. Your goal is clarity, not imitation. A small accent is not a problem. In fact, accents are part of identity. The important question is, can people understand you comfortably? That is what matters. And pronunciation improves naturally through listening and repetition, especially through shadowing. Choose short audio clips. Repeat them many times. Copy rhythm. Copy pauses. Copy emotional tone. Over time, your mouth becomes more flexible. Now, let's discuss one of the hidden secrets of advanced fluency: conversation memory. Fluent speakers do not invent everything from zero. They recycle patterns. For example, maybe you hear this sentence: "I've been meaning to call you." Instead of memorizing only that sentence, turn it into a pattern. "I've been meaning to exercise more." "I've been meaning to clean my apartment." "I've been meaning to learn photography." This method helps you speak creatively using familiar structures. Another powerful strategy is storytelling practice. Stories naturally improve grammar, fluency, and vocabulary. Every day, tell a short story in English. Something funny, something embarrassing, something emotional. For example, last week I missed my bus because I was watching videos on my phone. I started running after the bus, but the driver didn't stop. A woman nearby started laughing, and honestly, I laughed too. Stories train connected speech, and people love listening to stories. Now, let's discuss fluency under pressure. Because many learners speak well during practice, but freeze during real interactions. The solution is gradual challenge. Do not avoid difficult situations forever. Start small. Order coffee in English. Ask simple questions. Join online speaking groups. Talk with language partners. Confidence grows through action, not waiting. And remember, feeling nervous is normal. Even advanced speakers feel nervous sometimes. The difference is that confident people continue anyway. Now I want to teach you something extremely important. Your identity affects your fluency. If you constantly tell yourself, "My English is terrible. I'm bad at languages. I'll never become fluent," your brain begins believing those stories. So change your internal language. Say, "I'm improving every day. I'm becoming more confident. I can communicate successfully." This is not fake positivity. This is mental training. Athletes use visualization. Performers use visualization. Successful language learners use visualization too. See yourself succeeding. Your brain responds to repeated mental images. Now, let's talk about immersion. Many people think immersion means moving to another country. But modern technology changed everything. You can create an English environment anywhere. Change your phone language. Follow English creators. Listen to English podcasts. Watch interviews. Read articles. Write journal entries. The internet allows daily immersion. And here's an advanced strategy. Use different English accents. Don't only listen to one speaker. Listen to Americans, Britons, Australians, Canadians. This trains flexibility, because real English exists in many forms. Now, let's discuss motivation. Motivation is powerful, but motivation is unreliable. Some days you feel excited, other days you feel tired. So successful learners depend more on routine than emotion. Create systems. For example, 20 minutes listening every morning, 10 minutes speaking every evening, 1 English journal entry before sleep. Simple, sustainable, consistent. This creates long-term improvement. Now let me share a story. A student named Sophia from Mexico once told me she felt embarrassed speaking English at work. During meetings, she stayed silent, not because she lacked ideas, but because she feared making mistakes. So we created a small goal. Not fluency, not perfection. Just one English comment per meeting. That's all. At first her voice shook. She spoke slowly. She felt nervous. But after several weeks, something changed. People started responding positively. They listened. They respected her ideas. And gradually, she realized something important. Her English did not need to be perfect to be valuable. That realization transformed her confidence. Now she speaks regularly during international meetings. Growth often begins with very small actions. Now, let's move into advanced listening habits. Most learners listen passively, but advanced learners listen actively. They notice patterns. For example, how do native speakers disagree politely? Instead of saying, "You're wrong," they often say, "I'm not sure I completely agree." That's one way to look at it. I see your point. But these softening expressions are extremely important for natural communication. Another advanced area is fillers. Native speakers use fillers constantly. Well, actually, honestly, used naturally, fillers make speech smoother. But don't overuse them. Balance matters. Now, let's talk about reading. Reading improves fluency more than many people realize. Why? Because reading exposes you to sentence structure, vocabulary, and natural phrasing. But choose material slightly above your level. Not impossible. If every sentence feels difficult, you'll become frustrated. Start with articles, rated readers, blogs, or simple novels. And here's an advanced tip. Read aloud sometimes. Reading aloud connects pronunciation, rhythm, and comprehension. It trains your speaking muscles. Now, let's discuss one of the biggest emotional problems in language learning: impatience. People want instant fluency. But language growth is not linear. Sometimes you improve quickly. Sometimes progress feels invisible. That's normal. The important thing is continuing. Imagine planting a tree. For weeks, maybe nothing appears above the ground. But underneath, roots are growing. Your English develops the same way. Even when progress feels slow, your brain is adapting. So trust the process. Now I want to share another advanced fluency secret. You do not need to understand every single word. This is a huge breakthrough for many learners. Fluent communication depends on understanding overall meaning. Native speakers also miss words sometimes, but they continue listening. They use context. They predict meaning. If you panic every time you hear an unfamiliar word, conversations become stressful. Relax. Focus on the message, not perfection. Now, let's practice mindset. Repeat this idea mentally. I don't need perfect English to have meaningful conversations. That sentence is powerful because perfectionism destroys fluency. Now, let's talk about social fluency. Many learners study only formal English, but real conversations contain personality, humor, reaction, opinion, emotion. So practice expressing yourself. For example, that movie was incredible. I was totally exhausted. That sounds amazing. I'm not a huge fan of spicy food. Natural English feels alive. Now here's a challenge for you. For the next 7 days, speak English out loud every single day, even if only for 5 minutes. No excuses. Your brain learns speaking by speaking, not only reading, not only watching. Action creates fluency. Now, let's discuss long-term mastery. After fluency comes refinement, better storytelling, better pronunciation, better vocabulary, better cultural understanding. Language learning never truly ends. Even native speakers continue improving communication skills throughout life. So stop thinking, when will I finally finish English?